This poem is called There's a Place by Jamie Loftus. There's a place I know where all the homeless tend to go. It saves so many lives who are in trouble and strife. It's called King George's. There's a place I know that when people are low and have nowhere to go, it's called King George's. There's this place I know when people are crying, trying, even sometimes dying. It's called King George's. There's a place I know that saved thousands of lives whilst they're in trouble and strife. It's called King George's.
I think the ideas we have that you come up with is that we've got the lines.
Keeping it square and separating around.
Yes, yeah.
My granddad was the first. He died in my arms. They said to me, it's about my granddad. I was his carer. They said, look Jamie, he's going to die. He'll be dead by end at night. 21 days he lasted. He laid there like that, right? He turned round at me after 21 days. He cried and died. And I had the power of palliable care over my grandma as well. I stayed there with her for 14 days. She died in my arms. I got in bed with her while she died. I was only one there. I had power of palliable care over my Uncle Wacker. He had an heart attack in the street. Right, he sent me that pole in my Uncle Wacker that I got sectioned over it. That's how much I loved my family. Everybody that I've ever loved has died. We got passed from pillar to post. I mean, the things I've seen and been through, I don't think you'd be able to ever put in a book. Oh, wait till you listen.
That's the, if I was in his, I know who's right. I know, in my case, it's not.
It's like everyone wants
I
it.
think if you believe, you feel peace.
Yeah.
You know, you feel peace about with life. You know,
Yeah.
because you believe. You know, you believe about heaven, about hell.
Heaven, help.
Yeah, about this. I believe that. You know, because we don't come here in the life without nothing. You know, without you know. Believe. Just believe. Yeah.
It's jungle, like life. This is, you know, this like life. Who is stronger, who is not strong. And a good point is, if I leave some bank, not paying the bank, it's a joke. My suggestion, my kids to be, I encourage them, be strong, you don't worry. I'm gonna watch how you put some imagination to work on. See, I'm gonna be there all the time. Just look at the moon or this star, you see, this is me. When it's happening? I'm saying when it's gonna happen, you throw a party, not a crying star. You just make a big party because I enjoy life. I was not crying. Yeah, I would make a party. You understand?
Because you can't stop from dying.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It's
That's
very powerful.
part of life, isn't it? So it happens to flowers, it happens to trees, it happens to concrete, it happens to everything.
Yeah.
Something always comes to an end. So yeah, the wilted flowers, cool, aren't they?
I like it. I like
A
it.
guy who won the Turner Prize, who does still lifes, but he does his flowers with like old windmill sort of like stuff from the seaside, and he'll have like a ladle coming out of it. So instead of it being a flower, he's got a ladle head coming out and all this sort of stuff in this with other flowers and stuff. Looks really cool. Hello everyone. I don't know if you know, we're doing a project to build a thing, and I call it a thing because we don't know what it's going to be yet until later on in the year, really, isn't it? September, I think, is the last workshop, isn't it?
Yeah.
Something like that. And to look at, well, what we're looking at, death, basically, or the sort of like the flow to it and stuff like that. But we're going to do it via flowers instead. Like, so you know, like, you see a bunch of flowers, right? And you just think, oh, that's cool, like the plants and that over there. But they all die at the end of the day, don't they? They do in my house anyway, because I'm not very good at keeping them alive. I'm really not. And I still think that when like a bunch of flowers or something like that, even when it's starting to dry out, it still looks amazing, right? And that's basically what the whole idea of, we're going to make plants and flowers out of cardboard and paper and stuff like that, little roses and peonies, I think we got the patterns for. So if you're up for that, I can show you how to do it if you fancy it.
So I'm Glenn, I work at Royal Trinity Hospice, and so I'm in the patient family support team. And I think what we're really keen to sort of work with David and do this project is that we recognise that sometimes talking about death and dying is really difficult. It doesn't, come easy for some people. And so we're really keen to sort of come here with you and maybe start some conversations. And creating this piece of art with David and having something that we can see out and about in October time, people can engage with it, hopefully get really excited about it.
Hopefully.
They will, David, they will. And this is the start, so this is the first workshop today.
Yeah.
So you're all here right at the very beginning. And so we're very excited about it.
You're going to use these as a template basically, and then you're going to want 5 leaves that shape, 5 of that shape, and 7 of that one. Yeah, so use like newspaper, scrap paper like that. I'm going to grab a newspaper myself.
That's the 5 template.
So you're going to have a big one, and then we'll go on to the middle-sized one. Same goes down. Ginger Johnson going to be in my rose. Does that mean I have a ginger rose now? No.
Even a bit more.
I just like the fact that you use recycled stuff, like stuff that would normally be thrown in landfill, right? Do you know what I mean? And give it a bit of texture, really. Helping them grow, helping them grow. When I come back in a few weeks' time, there'll be a blossom of flowers. I love it. Hi, I'm David Tovey. I'm an artist, an educator, arts activist. I also run a company, co-run it with the most amazing group of people, and that's called Arts and Homelessness International, where we advocate for arts being part of a support structure for anyone coming out of homelessness. That's probably the best way to describe myself. Plan for today was to get people creating, really. That's for me, that's the most important thing. I know there's an overall theme, but for me it was that engagement first of all, getting people making in a space, creating, conversation, laughter, joy, and that's all we had today, was this like laughter, this joy, and taking people outside their comfort zone to make paper flowers, right? Who would have think that homeless people would make paper flowers? But they do, right? Because it's one of the most tactile, simple, beautiful things to make, as we can see behind us, and they know that they will go on to be made into some sort of picture, artwork, whatever we choose, or they choose for it to be. People seem to forget, right, that they think the arts is there for posh people, right? But it's not. Art and creativity is for everyone. It's a human right. It's Article 27 of the UN Charter. So everyone deserves to have it, whether they're homeless or what. And to be able to make beautiful flowers, right? What better way to spend an afternoon? I feel like there's going to be something really special at the end, and knowing that it's being made by people who are normally put down upon, and stuff like that, it's just even more beautiful. And the general public are going to see it wherever it is and engage with it, and whether people are just walking past and glancing at it, or whether they stop and look at it, you're going to get thousands of people who are going to engage with these, which we've literally just made in this hostel. And that's the icing on the cake.
I'm Glenn Thomas, I'm one of the social workers at Royal Trinity Hospice, and I'm involved in this arts project, which is very exciting. I'm here on the very first session today. I guess today I was a little bit nervous. It was good weather. How many people are going to come in and be part of this? what was brilliant was there were a lot of people. It was a real atmosphere, great buzz here in the room. I think we had 6-7 people coming in, and the idea obviously is to talk about death and dying, which is a difficult subject for people to talk about. Today it was really about getting to know each other. I guess building up some trust, getting used to us, me in particular. We did have some conversations around death and dying, but it was more about listening to people's stories. You know, how they came to be here, how long they've been living here, and actually making some flowers. And that's a really good thing to do with people. That's a real bonding exercise, isn't it? So I think it's been a great session. It's really about bringing people together, and I think we'll build on that going forward.
They don't recognise these icons of England until they're gone. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
At least give him some accolade before he goes, like. Alright, he's been knighted, he's a sir now, isn't he?
Yeah.
I've had 5 more grandchildren that I've not seen.
Wow.
That's how life is just doing too big. I can't keep up with it.
Yeah.
Do you know, I said to him, I've only got one granddaughter, and then I was saying that, and my ex-wife goes to me, no, you've got 3 granddaughters. I said, no, I've only got me. She goes, no, you've had 2 more granddaughters.
Wow.
You know, the oldest woman.
Things go quickly though. Crazy, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Where like you'll go and like a horse will kind of, because they're very intuitive.
Yeah.
Like they pick up on people's emotions.
Oh, that's maybe work, isn't
So
it?
like if you're anxious, they get anxious.
Oh,
Colour it, paint it, spray paint it, whatever. Do maybe 3 of those here
Yeah.
out of whatever we can find to make them up.
Yeah.
What the
Got
board's
loads of
like,
cardboard as well.
and then they can be like literally staple gun. I think that will go through it. I think it's you're not past go. Yeah. Iffy.
Yeah,
So
but Finsbury Park is like unrecognisable from a few
I know.
years ago, isn't it?
Yeah.
yeah.
And that's the one that goes
Right.
through your finger.
Yeah. I've done that. So, yeah.
I've been here for 59 years.
In your area?
Yeah, some people say customers, and I always think that one sounds like a really strange one.
Really weird.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
With me, it's all that smashing things up, crying, and jamming, and then I jammed it. No, there's scissors. Oh yeah, there.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, do it, man.
Yeah.
Hello, I'm Emma. I'm the Community Engagement Manager at Royal Trinity Hospice, and I've been working on this project with King George's Hostel and David Tovey for quite a few months now. Today is our September workshop, and so this is the final workshop we're doing here at the hostel itself. Next time we're going to get all hands on deck, pull everything together, and we're using the Abbey Centre, which is just down the road from here, for that. The project has been amazing so far, really interesting angles that we've been developing and exploring over each project and each workshop. We've had different facilitators for each workshop, so David's come along and done a couple. The first one, he was doing some flowers to represent kind of the life cycle and life and death, and just kind of introduce the topic of death and dying at the beginning. And then we've had our art therapist from Trinity come in and do one around dried flowers. We've had Chris do some stuff around these fun little creatures. We were talking about care and how you like to be cared for, and so the idea was all around habitat and different creatures and creativity and exploring it that way. And it's just been really interesting meeting the residents, and some of the conversations that have come up through doing the arts projects have been really interesting and special, and hopefully we've created a bit of a space where we can have conversations that might not have automatically or naturally come up elsewhere. The project came around through some funding that we got from Hospice UK to do an arts-based project to spark conversations around death, dying and loss. And the reason that we decided to partner with King George's Hostel is because we'd already done a little bit of work with them in terms of clinical support for residents here, so our nursing team coming into the hostel and supporting people who were palliative. And we just thought it was a really amazing opportunity to continue to build those links with the hostel. We know that people who are living in hostels and people experiencing homelessness face a lot of barriers to care and to palliative care in particular. And we wanted to use this opportunity as a way of building trust, building understanding, raising awareness about what the hospice does, so that if residents do ever need us, they know where to find us, they know what we can offer them, and they feel comfortable to contact us, comfortable to have those conversations with us. So it's been a really amazing opportunity to get to know people here at the hostel, and for them to get to know us a little bit as well.
I agree.
Yeah, it can't be just a job. If it's just a job, you're in the wrong job. You can't be working with people. If you've got, there's certain things I've seen is like people don't give a damn about people, and you can't be doing this sort of job if you don't care about the person that you're meant to be looking after. You've got to have some kind of humility in it, you know?
Because I think generally, whether you're experiencing homelessness or not, there's lots of kind of myths and misunderstandings of what it is that hospices do. So we're always looking for opportunities to get out and talk about what we do and raise awareness. So a really big part of the project was not just working with the residents and the staff here at the hostel, but also creating a piece that could be interacted with by the members of the public, because we think that there's a really important part that we can play in raising awareness of death and dying and loss within the homeless population. Obviously we know that life expectancy is much lower within the homeless population. We know a lot of people who are homeless have experienced loss and bereavement, and sometimes that can be a real trigger for people in their lives. So it's really important for us to not only do the workshops and get to know residents, but create something that we can then display somewhere and hopefully spark some really important conversations in the public as well.
It's this stage of an artwork that I really like, by the way, because when you've got something that no one else can see but you can see it, and you're getting excited and they're going, "What, that guy's a bit nuts, right?" That's that special bit of an artwork, because you then start smiling more, going, "Yeah, but you just wait." When you see it all come together, all these random stories, figurines, whatever it is, but they blend together as a community. That's what I love about art. Like, it's just that last bit when it all comes together. It's stressful to get there, but that's what it should be. You want to take yourself outside your comfort zone, right? You want to challenge yourself, because if you don't do that, then you're not making real art.
Let me come out this side.
Gloves, to be honest, I don't want to.
Just try and find some.
I should have brought some more, but I have to snap this, guys.
Yeah, do you want? Some action.
Good.
Doesn't have to be.
Yeah, I can do that.
Yep.
Yeah.
But it's like, just making art, man. It's just like the best thing in the world.
That's the outline.
Yeah, just the outline. We can try. So.
So we've got the blue ones on the top, which represent the males, and this goes to the average age of deaths on the street by the homeless. And then we've got the pink ones over here, which will go on the inner side for the young ladies that die on the streets, and they are young, so it only goes up to 42, and that's the average age, which is absolutely unbelievable, really, when you think about it. So yeah, so we thought we'd highlight it and say time is now to sort this out. Let's get on it and like try and lower these numbers, not lower them in the age, but lower them as in the amount of people dying. So, and seeing it's World Homeless Day today, it's a very apt day to be doing it on. It's quite heartbreaking, really, isn't it? And we know that numbers are still going up, and we'll do quite a while yet, I think. Charcoal, graphite there, yeah, and we'll rub a bit of that into it, and then it'll age it. Nice, yeah. And then that'll look pretty good. You can use a brush.
Yeah, I think it's really, it's crazy.
Under the age of 65.
I mean, 85% of all homeless deaths are under the age of 65. It's crazy.
Every 6.5 hours, someone dies while homeless.
46 is having a death of.
I know.
You know what it is like? You'd think that like.
You think it'd be the odd one every few months.
And that one shocks me. Off-record deaths among the homeless population across England and Wales in 2021 were related to an illness. It absolutely shocks me. It makes me want to cry, man. Well, hopefully people will open their eyes a bit, won't they? So, you know what I mean? So, I mean, and just know that homeless people are just human beings the same as anybody else, you know what I mean? People do it because they're broken. And that's that, you know what I mean? I don't want to, you know, nobody wants to pass away and die. But it's part of life, that's that. But I think it's going to be travelling around hostels and just different places just to get let know. I mean, one of my mates died a couple of weeks ago, only, it were a dwarf, only 54, you know, this is what happened, and you know, it was my mum's birthday, so she died of cancer. So, you know, I've been really poor with my liver, and you know, so I've got to really, I'm 30, I know it's only 36, but I've got to start coming to reality that look, if I don't cut down what I'm doing with alcoholism and all stuff like that, you know, I'm going to end up poorly. I'll end up dead end of the day, so I need to get things in key. Right, I'm going to glue some watches on.
About there.
This wasn't complete until that moment.
Got the X.
I think that means
this rolling, this
everything. Everything from the.
I think it says it all, really.
This causes everything that is to go.
I think that's my favourite part of it, to be honest.
Yeah, we can make a
No?
Yeah, I've got a 46 here.
Ah,
Do you reckon? Okay. No sugar? See you in the front row.
Yeah, do you know what? I like having a bit of cardboard on there. You ready, yeah? I like it actually, it's working really nice. I'm glad I brought this gilding with me. It really ties it in a bit.
Yeah, it does.
And then I'll put some charcoal on it. I'll do that out here because it makes a right mess. And what it does, it ages it as well. So what I'll do in a sec, I'll go and get some of our charcoal, and I'll put some charcoal on it as well, because then it gives it that real aged sort of like feel and look to it.
I can't believe how much we've got done today. It's brilliant. It's really taken shape. It's great, and just all the different elements coming together. I think your eye is just transported all the way around it, and it just tells so many different stories. And hopefully everyone that looks at it is going to take away something a little bit different from it as well, which I think is really nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a bit bonkers, but I love it. It's great. It's absolutely
I think that's what's sort of like really good about it, because it's so eclectic and so different. Like it's literally like our community, isn't it? That we work with. It's just always a little bit erratic, and there's so much going on in people's lives that Sometimes,
really beautiful.
Yeah, we're being respected for, you know, the rubbish that they go through on a daily basis, and
I also think it's quite interesting. We like set out to make an art piece all about loss and death, but it's ended up being so colourful,
giving it a lot of
so
life.
full of life. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
great. And actually, that's quite a big reflection
I'm going to paint
on
that
what
number
we
one
do.
actually in Guild.
Like at the hospice as well, it's quite a big reflection in terms of, you know, I think people tend to think it's all about death and darkness, but actually it's about life, about living. So I think it's a really nice reflection of both worlds. It's been really good. I've had some really interesting conversations with people. It's been all hands on deck, definitely, to get it finished, but I think that's given us, like you say, a bit of energy, a bit of pizzazz for the final time. And I think we've managed to get everything stuck on in one way or another, which is
nearly.
great. It's been very lively. Again, that life, that life word. Very lively.
That's dramatic, isn't it?
And then I'm going to brush a bit of it in.
We've got a retail routine.
Oh my god, it's brilliant. It's like literally genius, guys.
Wow.
And it's 4 o'clock and we've done it on time. And everyone get stood on that end. I want to get a photo of everyone. And the cameraman. That's a wrap!